calling this meeting to order. Are we in compliance?
Yes.
Very good. The first item on the agenda, or the first item is the public comment during this portion of the agenda. Comments must be limited to matters on the agenda for action. If you wish to be heard, give your name for the record and the amount of discussion, as well as the amount of any single speaker allowed may be limited. So, seeing that there's no one here to give a public thing, we'll move on to the next item for public action. The final approval of the minutes by reference of the regular meeting of the Arts Commission from October 18th, 2018. If everyone's had a chance to review them, do I hear a motion to approve the minutes?
This is UDS George, City Attorney. Excuse me for asking members that. Were you present at the last meeting? Okay, excellent. You can move for approval.
Okay. Then I could just say they're approved, right?
Also, first, there needs to be a motion for approval. But actually, now that I think about it, on second thought, I don't think the clerk did a call.
Oh, I'm sorry.
For purposes of a quorum.
Okay.
So before we take a vote on that, let's just establish quorum on the record, and then you can maybe move for that motion. So,
Chair. Ready? Chair Curran? Excused. Vice Chair Breyer?
Breer.
Sorry.
Yes. Mhm.
Vice Chair Sprott?
Here.
Commissioner Hamblin? Haynes-Hamblin? Commissioner Shefsik?
Here.
Commissioner Tupov?
Here.
Commissioner Trimble? Excused. Commissioner Carpel? Excused. Commissioner Weinstein? Excused. Commissioner Zachman? Commissioner Loden?
Here.
Commissioner Pacheco?
here.
And I apologize, I did not say that Commissioner Haynes-Hamblin was excused. So thank you.
Okay.
You do have one.
Thank you. Okay, so now we're back to the motion to approve the minutes.
Commissioner Zachman, I move that we approve the minutes of October 18, 2018.
Okay.
Chairperson, you can then ask if there's any further
Okay.
discussion. If there is any further discussion.
Any discussion? Then, all in favor of approving the minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. So the next item on the
And
agenda.
then for the record, you'll need to say seeing none, the
Oh, okay.
motion so moves.
Okay. Seeing none, the motion so moves and the minutes are approved.
I love that you're here.
We'll do this.
You're doing a great job.
We'll get through this. Okay. The next item is the report by Arts Commission Chair regarding the monthly summary of current activities, initiatives, cultural events, and opportunities.
This is CBS, George, if you can state the item number on the record as well.
Yes, item number 5. And since Chairman Curran is unavailable, I will be happy to fill in and present the report. The In-Flight Energy Liberated, featuring the artwork of Nova May, will be on display through April 2019 as part of the Windows on First Street Public Art Program. This uplifting installation speaks to the power of transformation. The exhibit is free and open to the public, located at the Las Vegas City Hall at 495 South Main along First Street. Visions 2 Native American exhibition featuring the artwork of Tom Jones, Fawn Douglas, Robert Martinez, Rebecca Eagle, Sky Hopinka, Ray Valdez, and Noel Garcia closes soon on November 21st. The exhibit is free and open to the public, and it's located at the City Hall Chamber Gallery on the second floor. Open Artist Opportunity. The City of Las Vegas requests proposals for the Windows on First temporary public art project. The Windows on First program invites artists to create original, site-specific installations presented within the context of the First Street Art Trail. The deadline to apply is Friday, November 30th. For more information about these events, visit the artslasvegas.org website or call 702-229-2787. That's 702-229 Arts. Do any commissioners have additional events or happenings that they would like to mention?
Commissioner Topaz, the exhibition of Las Vegas artist James Stanford is going on now at the West Sahara Library Art Galleries, the studio, which was formerly the Fine Art Museum, until November 24th. It's open to the public and everyone's invited to see his work. Thank you.
Very good. The next item on our agenda, number 6, is the report by Office of Cultural Affairs staff regarding monthly summary of current initiatives. Rebecca?
Yes, Rebecca Holden, Office of Cultural Affairs. You all received a digital copy as well as a hard copy of the staff report. We're going to provide some highlights from there and then some additional information on some projects. In theory, everything on the head. Just remove that from the report. So the first one is, this is the image of the completed entrance ramp for the Neonopolis parking garage from artist Aniko Doman. She's now going to be starting work on the exit ramp, incorporating a lot of really fun details, including prehistoric showgirls and some imagery from local neon, so she'll have imagery of the La Concha sign, and as well as the Nevada State fish in there. I have some images here of the completed atomic passage benches. So those all had the many years and layers of paint removed from them and then have been repainted and sealed with a protectant coating. Our next focus is going to be on replacing the landscaping inside of there, but we're really thrilled to have them restored to this beautiful condition. You can see some before and after images. And that's the portion there where we're going to have the landscaping replaced. Our next item is an update on the West Las Vegas Arts Center sculpture called Queen of the Arts by Gus and Lena Ocampo Silva. So I'm just facilitating the final details regarding the required inspections that we need. It's a little complicated because the artists are living and working in Florida. However, the welds have to be inspected by a Park County approved inspector. So it gets a little complicated there, but we're working it out. The imagery you see here, the image on the left there is of a Nevada Energy representative who was just doing some final measurements to make sure there weren't any issues with the overhead lines. So that yellow dotted line is where the lines are there, just if you were curious about scale. Moving on, so the 3rd Street Linear Park, we're working on a poetry portion. So Laura's coordinating details regarding contracting with a local poetry consortium so that we can include poetry etched into the benches that would be placed along the park. Our next one, it's kind of got a vague title here, multiple artistic enhancements, artworks, sculptures, murals, etc. throughout the city. So as we continue to further develop our documentation of the program, it's come to our attention that there are some pieces that have been acquired from the city, through the city as an entity, but not necessarily through the public art program, through our process. And so we're facilitating those conversations with other departments, like Public Works, Parks and Recreation, Operations and Maintenance, to talk about the best method for bringing these sculptures in under the umbrella of the public art program, since they are, if you look at it from a citizen outsider perspective, these are works of art that are owned by the city, and so we want to make sure they're cared for properly. We're not quite sure yet what that process looks like, what it will be, but we'd like to propose hosting or scheduling a subcommittee meeting for the Public Art Advisory Subcommittee, and possibly for next month, so that we can facilitate a more detailed conversation about what that looks like. At this time, there are 2 commissioners on that subcommittee. It is Chair Curran and Commissioner Zachman?
Move so.
Yeah. And then our final item of business is that our next meeting is on December 20th, 2018. We just want to confirm who's going to be there.
Be the commissioner.
Yeah, just think about it. If you have holiday plans, things like that, we understand. We just want to make sure. We've got two for sure.
Yeah. I'm not going anywhere for Christmas.
I'm in, John Shepherd.
Okay, perfect.
Commissioner Breyer will be in attendance.
Perfect.
I'll be in.
Commissioner Loudon, yes.
Yes, great. Thank you, everyone.
Are you allowed to have a Christmas party?
Yeah, potluck.
There's no food allowed in here.
Oh, okay. Drinks then.
There you go.
I'll bring the vodka.
Right, a lot of water.
I read the sign. Okay. Great. Are there any questions or comments about the items presented in the staff report?
Good job.
Thanks.
Thank you, Rebecca. The next item for discussion and possible action regarding details related to the upcoming AMP utility box painting project, not to exceed $10,000 percent for the Arts Fund. This is Ward 1, which is near and dear to my heart, and Laura will be giving us an update on that.
This is UDS George City, Las Vegas. This is item number for the record 7.
Okay.
This is Lori Chiamachado, I'm visual arts specialist for the city of Las Vegas. And so Jim and I had a conversation about the project scope last week. We talked about we would select locations within Ward 1. I reached out to traffic control to get a map of where all of the utility boxes were located that we will have the opportunity to paint. So last meeting, we talked about selecting 6. Jim and I narrowed it down to a certain area. And I just want to go over the locations and then confirm it with everyone here. And Jim, jump in.
Okay.
I think this was one of the utility boxes. It's right on Bonneville, near that on-ramp, or near the, was that one of them?
That's a good location.
Bonneville and Alta.
It's on Martin Luther King and Bonneville. And
Okay, Bonneville, yeah, is Alta. Yeah, Alta turns into Bonneville.
Yeah. So I'll point out the ones that I thought that we were talking about, and then
Okay.
we can talk about maybe other ones that I thought it was this one, these two, these. Do we need addresses? Martin Luther and Bonneville, and then Shadow, and also Bonneville. Or it's not Bonneville.
It might be Alta, but
Yeah. Thank you. Also, I think it's Charleston and Shadow. What is the street?
It looks like
That's
Rancho.
Rancho.
Did we talk about Tonopah? Did we
Yes.
talk about Tonopah?
If I may,
Yeah,
so I can
please.
see the maps. The ones that.
And you all have maps in your binders, by the way.
Was Charleston, I guess there isn't one. So Charleston in Shadow, Alta in Shadow, Alta and Tonopah, and then Rancho and Alta, and Rancho and Charleston. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, this is Rancho.
Okay. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Perfect.
So, do I need to call those out again so that we're clear?
That's what it is.
Okay. All right. Martin Luther King and Bonneville,
Okay.
Shadow and Alta, Tonopah and Alta, Rancho and Alta, Charleston and Rancho, Charleston and Shadow.
I also wanted to talk about how we would do the call for artists. We can issue a new call. We're going to select that we had issued in January of 2018. Currently, we have about 30 applicants on that list. It's a pretty good list of applicants, but I thought I would let you guys determine what you thought would be the best approach.
This is Commissioner Breer. When was that call made? How old is the list?
January of 2018.
Oh, okay.
We issued it actually for the downtown AMP boxes that was outside of the Arts Commission funding. And I opened it and didn't put a location on where the utility boxes were because we were reaching out to business owners to make sure that there was an interest in it. And also let them know that the list would be good for 2 years. So we can issue another call and specify these specific locations, and they can respond to these specific utility boxes, or we can use the existing. I'll still use the one that we have for our downtown project, which is for sporadic locations throughout Ward 3.
And you said you had 30 artists that applied? I mean, it seems like enough of a pool. You're only pulling for 3, and it was good for 2 years, so it's under, like, legally, it's okay. So I don't see what the harm is in it.
Commissioner Shelsey, how was the call issued?
It's through our website, Arts Registry Las Vegas. We issued a request for qualifications. They submitted a letter of interest, a resume, and then images of their past work. And
The first AMP project, how many applicants?
we had 120. The second, I didn't necessarily consider this an open AMP call with specific locations, and that actually was one of the, I think, one of the reasons why we didn't get as many applicants, because they didn't know where they would be taken. But if we issued another one, I'm not sure how many we would get. The only advantage, or I would advocate for using the call that we currently have, it would expedite the process. But we don't necessarily need to use this direct select approach, or not direct select, but the open call that we have, because we have enough time.
Commissioner
Either way.
Pacheco, how many of the people on the 30 artists have already painted the box? Or any of them?
I don't know exactly off the top of my head. I would say probably 5.
And maybe we should call for more then. Give other people a chance.
I would be an advocate for reissuing the call, because I think you might get a stronger tool knowing where they would be painting as well.
This is Commissioner Breer. Is the call, is that the only discussion that we're going to actually have to take a vote on, or are there other decisions in your?
Just the two. We needed to come up with location and how we would do the solicitation.
Okay. So I'll ask the Deputy City Attorney, do we do 2 different, or can we combine that into one question?
You mean for the motion for the approval, or the request after the specific list?
So we have a choice. We have our 2 choices are to approve the locations and to approve the method for attracting artists. Should we try to combine that into 2 motions?
Yeah,
Okay.
you should do 2 motions.
Okay.
And I would also encourage that before you make any motion, that you complete the discussion.
Yes.
On that, and then prior to making a motion, just ask, is there any further discussion? Should the answer be no, then you can move forward with each of the motions.
Got it. Okay. So since we kind of we went right past the locations, let's finish the discussion on the method to select the artists. Is there any other, before we make a motion, is there any other commissioners' input as on the selection of the artists and the method that we?
Commissioner Zachlin, I think we should have more artists rather than lesser or fewer.
Commissioner Tapaz, is this just for local, or is this national?
This is Laura Commissioner. We open it to all artists.
Okay.
Typically, it's local. However, on our first utility box painting project, we had an artist from California who came in. She was a recent MFA graduate from UNLV.
She was local.
She was local. But we have had out of state. And all of our calls are open to all artists.
This is Commissioner Mickey. So if there's two statements there. One is regardless, there would only be 3 artists selected for the location. The second is how long is this process if you have to go back to call, and where's that time frame? If you're looking at the AMP project that's up at Sun City, we're now at 9 months, going on 9-10 months, right? And they haven't put paint to a box. So this would expedite this quite a bit and not lend you right into summer painting, which is a nightmare for artists. Just want to point that out to the group. But we do need an answer. So how long do you think, Laura?
I've scheduled it in my current timeline, and I meant to bring it with me, that if I finished up the project scope this week and then posted a call. The issue with having a call during the holidays is typically it's a lower turnout because people are out of town or preoccupied with the holidays. We would need to leave it open for at least 30 days. So it would probably close after Christmas. And then we would go through the process and have an evaluation team meet in January, select the artists. They'll create a proposal. Then they have to come back to the Arts Commission. Usually it'll be at the March meeting. And then the contracts would be issued before that. And then they would start painting in April and May, be done by June. So the timeline works with having a call, but it would speed it. We didn't have to make that actual.
And your opinion on the 30 applicants with removing would it be the 5 existing that's already done one would be out of the competition?
This is Laura Ingersoll. There's no official rule on it. My suggestion would be if an artist has painted a utility box in the last X number of years, they wouldn't be selected again. That would be my thought. But ultimately it's up to the evaluation team. And I'm not a voting member of the evaluation team. We'll have an arts commissioner, we'll have an artist, and then typically a former painter or stakeholder.
Okay. So, is there any other discussions? Do I hear a motion to approve the call for artist method outlined by staff?
I'll make a motion to approve the
Okay.
new one.
Yes.
John Pacheco, Commission.
Yep. Any discussion?
Let's take a step back. And making the motion to approve by that particular method, if you'd like, what you can do is redirect it back to staff, and then they can state clearly on the record exactly what that method is, so that each of the other members know exactly what we're moving.
Okay. So, would you read back to the staff the method of selecting new or putting out a call for new artists?
Yeah, so we're going to have 2 options. Would you like to issue a new call for artists?
The motion is to approve a call for new artists, and so the question was for you to outline how that would work, so that we have it in the record.
Oh, sure.
Okay.
So we would post a solicitation requesting qualifications from artists interested in painting utility boxes, and that would close in the end of December.
Okay. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Seeing that there is no opposition or no votes, the motion passes. We have another motion. Now we have another question: is the selection of the proposed sites that we were going to use for the boxes. Does anyone need to hear those again before we? Well, first we probably should have. Does anyone have a motion to approve? And then if they need to hear where those are again, we can restate those. No motion? Can I make the motion?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Chair.
I move that we approve the 6 locations as outlined previously in the item in the agenda item. Is there a second?
Commissioner Zarko, second?
Okay. Would anyone like to hear where those locations are before we vote? Is there any discussion?
This is the Georgia Las Vegas City Attorney's Office. It sounds like you would feel more comfortable if I listed them. So I'll just
Okay.
6 locations are MLK, Bonneville, Charleston Shadow, Alta Shadow, Alta Tonopah, Rancho Alta, and Rancho at Charleston.
Thank you.
My understanding is that you'd like to make a motion for the approval of each of these 6 boxes to be identified and utility boxes to be painted on.
That is correct. So, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? The motion carries. Now we move to item number 8, discussion for possible action regarding the acceptance of donations of artwork by Robin Stark and Linda Alterwitz. We have this item in our backup. Right at the end. So the description of the piece by Robin Stark, she works in clay. She creates sculptural forms which are inspired by vessel shapes, yet deviate from their functionality. The recipient of a Master of Fine Arts from the Pennsylvania State University College, Pennsylvania, and a Bachelor of Arts from the University of California, Davis in California. Robin currently teaches ceramics arts at the College of Southern Nevada of Las Vegas. The 2 artworks provided for the Commission's review today have been featured on loan in City Hall since 2012, and the artist wishes to donate these for a session to the city's permanent artwork collection. Staff recommends approving of the donation for these 2 artworks. The artwork should be displayed on pedestals with covers and cleaned periodically with a soft cloth. So we have 2 pictures on the slides here. Would you like to review? Anyone have? I'll make a motion to approve the acceptance of these 2 pieces. Is there a second?
This is the U.S. George Las Vegas City Attorney's Office. I'm sorry, prior to making a motion, you should ask the board if there's
Okay.
if we should have any discussion, and then seeing no discussion.
Okay. So is there any discussion on this?
Commissioner Sheffield,
Yep.
are there pedestals existing now that these pieces go on already with props to it? Or
Rebecca Holden, so we have through the gallery program, we have a number of pedestals that aren't necessarily dedicated to one particular piece, but they're used and moved around as needed as the gallery program needs them through so they're spread between the permanent collection and the gallery spaces here in City Hall and beyond. We do have funds available through the maintenance portion that if we needed to have a customized pedestal created just for those, we could certainly do it. We've done that in the past. We have just right outside the doors here, we have 2 permanent pieces in the collection that are on customized pedestals for the City Hall building. So it can be done. We just don't at this time have 2 pedestals that are custom dedicated for those. They were on display for a while in the pedestals. On this floor, just down the hallway, there's currently, I think, vessels on those pedestals.
That was where I was going. The cost of, if there were pedestals already or some needing to be built, and would that be a burden? The cost of doing that? Do you see these going on permanent display somewhere, or is that up to Jeannie?
Rebecca Holden, yeah, they would likely be on permanent display somewhere here in City Hall, as they have been on display since 2012, really. We would talk to the gallery programmer, Jeannie Vultura, and strategize the best way to acquire pedestals if we need them, or if she already has extras that can be used for them at this time. So it would really kind of be up to Jeannie Vultura. She typically handles our more mobile permanent pieces in the collection where those are placed. Does that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay.
Checo, Commissioner, is there a time frame to say, okay, if we accept these, it's going to be put up in a certain amount of time, or is it up to?
Rebecca Holden, we really leave that up to Jeannie Vultura, who manages that portion of our collection, and she really responds to the space and the demands of that space, and also is very conscientious of the folks who commonly occupy those spaces. So she doesn't want to put anything anywhere that offends something or anything like that, which I don't imagine is good. You never know.
This is Commissioner Zachman. I think I want to go on record to say that I think Robin Stark's work is very intriguing. There's a little community to it in terms of it's only 18 inches or 21 and a half inches high. The space that it goes in has to be proportionate to the piece itself. I think most of her pieces are more colorful, but I think these are very simple.
Checo, Commissioner, I really like them myself. They're quality work.
Mr. Shepsick again. Robin's been working here for a while, and I think that she's established and recognized. It would be behooving for the city to have some examples of her work in their collection.
And Rebecca Holden, I'll just add that I know in our last round of donations, staff didn't really have a recommendation for one way or another, and so I just wanted to make sure that, yeah, we recommended basically exactly all echo what you said, Commissioner Shepsick, is that really well-established artist. We have a great relationship with this artist. They've been really generous to allow us to have these pieces on loan for as long as we have, and we're very appreciative of the offer to have them donated.
Very good. I believe there's a motion. I don't know if it's been seconded because we don't take the discussions. Is there a second on the motion to approve these two pieces?
Commissioner Zachman, I will second that motion.
Okay. Is there any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The motion passes. The next items that we have to consider for donation are 3 paintings by Linda Alterwitz. Linda Alterwitz is an interdisciplinary artist with diverse interests in the fields of medical research and the natural environment. Through her investigation of art and science, she combines both creative and scientific elements, provoking a feeling of curiosity and wonderment. She has exhibited her work in both the traditional exhibition and site-specific installations in the United States, England, Wales, Japan, China, Spain, Israel, Poland, and Greece. Alterwitz lives and works in Las Vegas, Nevada. The 3 artworks provided for the Commission's review today have been featured on loan in City Hall since 2015, and the artist wishes to donate these for a session into the city's permanent artwork collection. The staff recommends approving the donation of these 3 artworks. This is Commissioner Brer. These look exceptional, and I would think that they would be excellent additions to the permanent collection. Is there any discussion that on the pieces.
Commissioner Jackman, the Linda Alkowitz untitled Great Piece, has that been on display? It looks familiar to me.
Looks great.
Where has been, right here.
Right?
Yeah.
Rebecca Holden, you'll see we have a new piece of art this time, but yeah, the Linda Alkowitz piece has been gracing this conference room for quite a while. I've stared at it a lot.
I will miss it here.
Commissioner Shepard, I can say the same thing about Linda as about Robin Starr. He is a stalwart of Las Vegas in the art community here, and has been producing and exhibiting, as you read, in a number of locations. Paintings are early in her career. She's moved into photography now. But, again, it would be appropriate for the Las Vegas Permanent Art Collection to have examples of her work as part of the permanent collection. I'm in favor of that.
Commissioner Tupas, I have a question. Do the artists donating art to City Hall or the City of Las Vegas, did they get a tax write-off for this?
This is the George City Attorney's Office. So the answer to that question is not as clear as we would hope. But really, the City of Las Vegas is not an identified 501c3 organization. We're really a municipal entity. So to the extent that these pieces are donated to a municipal entity, that would be something that the donor would work with their CPA. There are certainly documents that would need to be filed to establish that this is in fact a true donation. And should they able to establish the fair market value for this piece, they may be able to get a tax deductible donation. But in terms of the city not being a 501c3, there's nothing that we can certainly guarantee or provide in terms of legal documentation that would support me advising them that yes, they can get a tax deductible donation. I hope that answers your question.
Okay.
I have something this commissioner's wrote. When I've been looking at, cities and their donation policies, one of the things that I might suggest to the City of Las Vegas is what would potentially help this art commission in determining these factors is to come up with some kind of mission or goals to this donation. Today we talked about kind of historical of these people being predominant artists in Las Vegas, which would be a great way of thinking about this collection. But 2 months ago, the talk was different in a different light. It would help us to have some kind of parameters of what is the goal of this program when it comes to donating artwork. It helps to, wrap your mind around why is city wanting to accept this. It helps staff and it helps us. Might be something to look into in the future.
Commissioner Pacheco, I agree with Nikki. There should be some long-term goal on what these paintings are going to go to. We have a gallery of our own that we, I don't know, like a museum. Of course, you already said that couldn't happen, but there should be a long-term goal. These paintings would have a big warehouse full of paintings. Not enough space to put them.
Rebecca Holden, that would be a welcome problem. We're not there yet, but you're right. It could be a future issue.
This is the George Las Vegas City Attorney's Office. Just to add to that, this is also something, if you're directing staff to put together some thoughts on that, this is something that over the course of time they can come back to you on for your advice and recommendations, because that's certainly from the purview of the authority of this board to be able to provide recommendations on some of that. So,
Cool.
Commissioner Tupas, are we allowed to share our collection to other galleries or museums who would like to borrow them?
Rebecca Holden, I think Commissioner Haynes Hamlin may have more experience with that, but I know on the gallery side, through the gallery programming, it's not uncommon for them to pay a fee to essentially rent an exhibit. So display, we do that pretty frequently for the book festival every year at the Historic History School, so that we can bring in a fully formed exhibit that's really relevant to the book festival and literacy. But as far as us lending things out, we haven't done it thus far that I know of, and I'm not sure what that would look like. There are questions about accreditation and things like that. But I'd be happy to look into it and report back.
Because I was just thinking, like, for example, the governor's office or, the state office down would like to create an exhibit or an art thing that they're building if they were allowed to borrow things from the city. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there.
Laura Machado, just to mention that we have a lot of facilities that are run by the city of Las Vegas. So the permanent collection can go in any of those facilities. We're also in the process of building more city facilities. So anything that's in the permanent collection could be placed at, say, a new building that's going to be constructed. Just to keep that in mind. And I don't know if I can say this, but if we schedule a subcommittee meeting for the Public Art Advisory Board for next month, it's going to be a topic that we hope to address there. We only have 2 members that are currently on that subcommittee, and I would welcome any of you to attend if you would like to have input on a donation policy process, changes, updates, what you would like to see. Because we know that we're getting more requests to donate work, and it's an issue that I don't believe has been faced prior to this. So I welcome you to attend that meeting.
What date is that?
December 20th at 3:30. It's a subcommittee meeting, so it'll be before the regular scheduled arts committee meeting. December 20th, 3:30. It'll be a half-an-hour meeting. I have a lot of information about that.
What do you think? I'm done with.
Yeah. Is there any other discussion on the? Okay. I move that we approve the 3 items for donation to the city of Las Vegas. Is there a second?
I second. John seconds.
Okay. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? The motion carries. So we go to item number 9, discussions regarding topics for future agenda items by the Commission. Comments made during this portion of the agenda by individual members shall refer solely to proposals for future agenda items, and any discussion shall be limited to whether or not such proposed items are within the purview of the Commission and or whether such proposed items shall be placed on a future agenda. No discussion regarding the substance or any such proposed topic shall occur, and no action shall be taken. Does anyone have any proposed agenda items? Seeing as that there's none, we will go to item number 10. Citizens' participation. Public comment during this portion of the agenda must be limited to matters within the jurisdiction of the Commission. No subject may be acted upon by the Commission unless that subject is on the agenda and is scheduled for action. If you wish to be heard, give your name for the record and the amount of discussion in any single subject, as well as the amount of time any single speaker is allowed, may be limited. Is there anyone who wishes to come up? Anyone? Anyone? So then we move to item number 11, adjournment. Unless there's anything else, we are adjourned.
Happy Thanksgiving to all you people.
Likewise.